Hey, y'all, what is this? Thursday's Thursday already. It's so crazy, right? Happy Thursday, people. Happy Thursday. Welcome into the building, okay? We are tapping on the door of March, but it's still February. So happy Thursday, people. Listen, it's Thursday. It's trending topics, and the title is simple. It's called Messy, okay? It is called Messy. Before I get into that, now this particular story is not on the docket tonight, but remember the mother who, unfortunately, the two children, they froze to death in the van. She was struggling to get housing. Well, there's some updates. Somebody paid for her housing for 1 year. But then I saw a video. And it ain't on the docket tonight, but I saw a video. And yes, I will agree that everybody grieves differently. But listen, I only have one child. If something happened to my one child, listen, you're going to have to come over here, feed me, speak life into me, breathe in me, perhaps give me some oxygen. I'm going to need help. If I had two children or more than one, and two of them at a very tender young age passed away, you might just have to put me in the casket with one of them. Probably the only reason for me to stay and be living would be for the children that are still here. Now, keep in mind, I said I understand everybody grieves differently, but let me share a screen real quick. So this is the mom. The mother of the two children who froze to death because they were homeless is seen partying just weeks after their passing on a Facebook Live. I'm saying, and that's different. And I get everybody grieves differently. But this is a lot. It's a lot. And I'll move forward and stop sharing the screen. So we'll go into today's topics. Title is simple. It's called Messy. And so we got Xzibit. If you on the younger side, you might not know who Xzibit is. He used to have this show, Major Changes. I'm trying not to judge, but that ain't grieving to me either. I don't care which way you try to wrap that thing up. But we'll continue on. Yeah, Handy B, a lot of y'all was saying the story didn't sit right with y'all. And it's starting to tug a little nerve on me. But we'll carry on. So Xzibit's ex-wife, she was used to, when she was with him, living a life of luxury. Yeah. When you're with somebody that has money, you're going to share the money and you're going to live a certain lifestyle. So she was used to a life of luxury. And then when they got divorced, she got a nice child support and a nice spousal support payment. But it wasn't enough for her. She said she needs more. She was renting a $10K a month house, $10,000 a month. Girl, you could have bought a house with the mortgage less than $10K a month and been sitting pretty and living pretty. But you got the mentality to just rent a house, and you ain't even the star in the family. You knew you was going to be able to maintain that. Rent at a house that is $10K a month. She wants to go back to court to tell the judge she need more money because she's not able to buy designer clothes and go on weekend trips with her son like she used to. Now, I'm not against child support because if two people made the baby, two people should take care of the baby. But when you just doing straight up greed, I can't do that with you. You can't buy the designer clothes and go on weekend trips like you used to. We're going to talk about it. Then, I don't know if y'all remember the story I did on a Robert Brooks. Robert Brooks, just to bring you up to date with this story, he was the young man that was in jail, in prison, and they swapped him from one to another. He was accused of stabbing his ex-girlfriend. I think he got 15 years or something like that. He was being moved to one jail from another. The correctional officers went ham on him while he was handcuffed. They went ham on him. They kicked him, they choked him, they punched him. And the only reason why we know the truth is because of the body cams. They didn't turn them on, but the body cam, thank God for Robert, unfortunately for Robert, but also thank God for Robert's family. The body cam ran like a still pictures of it. And there was no sound because they didn't physically turn them on, but they were running. And it showed these correctional officers beating the piss out of him. Well, they all got charged with murder. Yes, they did. They all got charged. And now they're going to face the music. So we're going to talk about that. And then our last story, Raheem said, men, be careful who you marry. But you know what? These celebrities, not to backtrack, but we'll backtrack to that story for 1.2 seconds. These celebrities, they marry these people that probably wouldn't have got with them if they wasn't a celebrity. And then they get got. But now moving to the last story, Angela Bassett. So Angela Bassett, she did, the actress, she did not win the Oscar when she was nominated for Wakanda. But let's be clear, this is no shade. You got to speak truth and facts over here. That Wakanda, that particular version, when she was in it for 2.2 seconds because she dies. She died. She was in it for 2.2 seconds. And then the other movies and actresses that she was up against, they were in their role longer in their movie. So there's other work where I feel that Angela Bassett could have won an Oscar. Like when she played Tina Turner, because I watched that movie and I felt like she was Tina Turner. So there's other work that Angela Bassett did where she perhaps deserved a nomination in the Oscar. But respectfully, Wakanda wasn't it. She was in the movie 2.2 seconds and then she dies. She was upset that I think it was Jamie Lee Curtis won. Is it Jamie Lee Curtis won that year? She was upset. And so here we are, how many years later or a year later, whatever, Angela Bassett does a new interview and she's still talking about how she felt slighted because she didn't get that Oscar. I'm going to need her to grow up. I'm going to need her to grow up. Let it go. Move on. In life, let me say this to everyone. In life, there's going to be some disappointments. Raheem, that Wakanda where she was nominated from, she wasn't in 75% of that movie. She died early on. It was the one after Chadwick Boseman died already. And then that version, she died early in the movie. She was barely in it. And she died. I like Angela Bassett, but we got to tell the truth and shame the devil. She did not deserve to win that particular year with that Wakanda. She didn't. She's in a current interview now, still talking about how she felt she should have won. Angela Bassett, what's that? She had a show. I don't know if it's still on. I think it was called 911. If somebody remember, correct me. She was the top paid actress on that show, 911. She was making something crazy like $250,000 an episode. You crying over an Oscar? Thank you, Handy B. Yeah, Reno 911. You crying over an Oscar? That chick was making $250K per episode. Raking in the cash. I think towards the end, I think they said almost $500,000 per episode. And you really crying over some statue you got to dust off in your house, an Oscar. To me, sometimes we got to get our perspective in order. If you was going to cry about not getting an Oscar, it should have been over what's love got to do with it. Hands down, if you ask me. Hands down. Just like when Denzel got that Oscar for that horrible movie, and he did so many other great works, and he got it for Training Day. When he played a gangster cop. This man did Malcolm X. He did so many movies where he should have got an Oscar, but they gave it to him for Training Day. If you want the people to stop playing in your face, you can't play in their face back. If Angela Bassett really thought about it, yeah, Diva, it said, yeah, she was. She was, thank you, $450,000 per episode, and she's crying over an Oscar. Girl. And you know how the industry works because you've been in the industry long enough. $450,000 an episode. And she's in the interview, and the best she got is to cry over an Oscar. I would have did that interview and said, you know what, I didn't win, but I'm glad Jamie won. But you know what, thank God I got my job, my show, making hand over fist cash. When you got, what's that darn name, Taraji P. Henson saying nobody ever paid her right, and you sitting collecting $450,000 per episode, girl, count your blessings. But we're going to talk about it. Angela Bassett in her 60s, and she's crying over an Oscar. I can't. Marcy, the thing is, you could ask me a question all day long, but I know how to spin it without some negativity. You know, everybody says, but they was asked a question. People are asked questions all the time and they don't answer. You heard A$AP Rocky in the court. The prosecutor asked him a question. A$AP Rocky said, "Don't answer." And he didn't answer. So yeah, they can ask you a question, but you spin it because they're always going to try to trick you. You spin it to positivity. Be like, I didn't win, but maybe I'll win next time. And you keep it pushing. Yeah, but we got to know how to rise above. She's 66. Come on. And at 66, you got to be teaching the people that's behind you. You got to let them know. Especially in that industry, be like, look, you may not get the Oscar, you may not get the Grammy, you may not get this, you may not get that, but you know your worth. Keep your head up and keep it pushing. You got to know how to spin it, because they try to trick you and trap you all the time. She has, but she slipped up with this Oscar thing. She has. But listen, guys, y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. The title is called Messy. We got Xzibit's ex. We got the officers charged in the Robert Brooks death. And we got Angela Bassett Oscar drama. Let me bring the people on in the building. Hey, Tay-Tay.
Hello, Chad.
Hey, in my opinion. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Katrina. All right, guys, we're going to get we're going to go ahead and get right into this story. This first story I want to deal with is these officers being charged in this Robert Brooks case. I'm glad they're being charged. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate you. I'm glad they're being charged. This is just so incredibly sad. It's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. I'm one that says once you are in jail, that is your punishment. I don't think you should now be in jail and they have the right to beat you, kick you, stab you, argue, or do whatever they want to you. No, jail is your punishment. If the judge and the jury said, okay, 15 years, 10 years, 5 years, or whatever, that's my punishment. I should not get punished by the hands of other people as they see fit. It's just crazy to me. But let's go ahead. I want to remind you of this story, and then we'll roll into the update of this story. Let me just see where I have everything situated at. Okay, first I'll do a reminder. Let me go ahead. I understand, want to proceed.
This morning, disturbing police body camera video showing corrections officers at an upstate New York prison beating a handcuffed inmate for 15 minutes. The incident happened on December 9th, and in the video from multiple body cameras released by New York State Attorney General Letitia James, you can see officers holding 43-year-old Robert Brooks down on an exam table, while other guards punch and kick him in the face and body. At one point, an officer chokes Brooks. An investigator's deposition did not cite any apparent provocation or motive. It notes that Brooks had his arms restrained over the course of the 15-minute assault. It happened at the Marcy Correctional Facility about 50 miles east of Syracuse. Brooks had just been transferred there the day of the beating. He was pronounced dead the next day at a nearby hospital. A preliminary autopsy ruling Brooks' death a homicide caused by asphyxia due to neck compression. Advocacy groups, including the NYCLU, condemning the attack and highlighting what they say is a systemic culture of abuse and lack of accountability within state correctional facilities. Brooks was serving a 12-year prison sentence for stabbing his girlfriend since 2017.
I think the family is reeling and traumatized by all of this. I think they were having an extremely difficult time even before seeing the video.
New York Governor Kathy Hochul ordering the termination of 14 prison staffers, including those bystanders, and Attorney General Letitia James promising a full investigation.
Okay, that was just a that happened. And now I want to bring you up to date where these individuals were charged. This was a 15-minute beating. 15 minutes. Is this where I want? This is where I want. Okay, let's go.
This just about a half an hour ago, chants and screams erupting outside the courtroom after charges were announced for the correctional officers involved in the beating and later death of Robert Brooks. Good afternoon. I'm Jeff Kulikowski. Christie is off. Breaking news from Oneida County Court. Several prison employees in court today formally charged in connection to the beating and later death of Robert Brooks in December when he was an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility. The beating of Brooks caught on multiple body cameras at the facility in December. Out of the people involved, 6 officers charged with murder, 2 others and one sergeant charged with manslaughter. Brooks' family calling for justice, filing a lawsuit against the state and the officers involved. Governor Kathy Hochul putting out a statement today saying the perpetrators were, quote, rightfully charged with murder. She also said she moved to terminate those involved. We have crews who are inside the courtroom. We will have team coverage for you from them beginning at 5 o'clock. Let's go live now to Oneida County Court, where a member of Robert Brooks' family is speaking.
It was on video. The whole world got to see it. Waiting up for these charges have been extremely hard, but these men need to be prosecuted and convicted of the crimes they made. But even these convictions are not enough. Any person with authority who allows abuse and violence to go on for so long also needs to be held accountable. And I pledge, and my family pledges, to not stop until we see change into how our state prisons are operated, and that this no longer has to go on anymore, and no one has to face what me and my family have faced. My father's death will not be in vain. Justice for Robert Brooks. Thank you.
So sad. Let me just X out of there. All right, so let me just share another screen. So New York prison guards charged with murder after sickening violence caught on camera. Robert Brooks should be alive today. New York Governor Kathy Hochul said in a Thursday, February 20th statement. Charges have been filed against 10 correctional officers in connection with the death of Robert Brooks, an inmate who prosecutors allege was murdered in New York State Prison while handcuffed in December 2024. Nicholas, David, Anthony, Christopher, Matthew, and an additional suspect whose name was redacted from a grand jury indictment have each been charged with second-degree murder and first-degree manslaughter. Gallagher was additionally charged with second-degree gang assault, and Anna Zone was charged with filing a false report. Michael Mashaw, Michael Fisher, and David Walters are charged with second-degree manslaughter. Nicholas Gentile is charged with tampering with physical evidence. Robert Brooks should be alive today. New York City Governor Kathy Hochul said in a Thursday, February 20th statement, the brutal attack on Mr. Brooks was sickening, and I'm immediately moved to terminate the employment of those involved. Now the perpetrators have been rightfully charged with murder, and state police are making arrests. Brooks' son Robert called the charges against the officers a necessary and important step toward accountability. These men killed my father on camera, he said in a statement obtained by People. All the world could see what happened. Waiting for those charges have been incredibly hard. These men must be fully prosecuted and convicted for what they have done. But even the convictions of these correctional officers for the murder of my father will not be enough. Every person in authority who allowed this system of violence and abuse to exist and continue for so long must also be held accountable. We pledge not to rest until we see meaningful change in how our state prisons are operated, so that no one else has to go through what my family and I have gone through. On the evening of December 9th, Brooks, 43, was transferred to Mercy Correctional Facility, according to a charging document obtained by People. The document alleges that Brooks was handcuffed, was assaulted twice by Anna Zone, the other officer, and another officer en route to the infirmary for a medical checkup. Once at the emergency room of the infirmary, Brooks was at various times restrained, beaten, choked, gagged, forcefully moved and kicked, all with minimum resistance on the part of Mr. Brooks and with no legitimate law enforcement purpose, the charging document claims. Per the document, the correctional officers did nothing to restrain each other, did nothing to stop the beatings, and failed to immediately order medical assistance for Mr. Brooks. According to the document, Mashaw, the ranking correctional officer in the infirmary emergency room, along with Walters and Fishers, failed to intervene during the attack. Walters, per the document, verbally instructed the nurse not to enter the emergency room. Anazone was further charged with first-degree offering of false instruments for filing for filing for allegedly falsifying paperwork required at the use of force incidents. Gentile was charged with tampering with physical evidence for allegedly cleaning the area of Robert Brooks' bloodstains in an effort to conceal the existence of said assault. Brooks died due to multiple blunt force injuries and compression to the neck, Brooks' family attorney Xzibit told People. Body cam footage shows the 10-minute incident during which Brooks was on an examination table. The footage shows an officer hammering Brooks repeatedly with the heel of his shoe and another officer lifting Brooks by the neck using a chokehold, according to the civil rights lawsuit filed by the family. At the time of his death, Brooks was serving a 12-year sentence after he pleaded guilty to stabbing a former girlfriend, according to court and prison documents, the New York Times reported. It's really hard to get justice in cases like these. And I think seeing these officers face criminal charges is one piece of getting justice for the family. They very much want to see some broader changes to make sure that no one else goes through something like this too. Horrific, horrible, but at least they are charged. Tay, your thoughts?
I don't have no sympathy for them for what they did, because we always see what happened to us. Every time you see that, like Georgian, what happened to him on the street, and what happened to that girl that who threw the hot water at the officer too. Every time you see us, it's always about us, because we still the enemy for them right there. Every time. It's tiring, it's aggravating for our people. I hope they get a life without parole. Because you don't deserve my sympathy at all. Because you still see us as the enemy, as always. You try to keep us down. But guess what? You gonna have to pay the price for what you did to this man right here from last year. And everybody see your face on the camera too, and saw you what you did to him. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. I appreciate you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
Well, I'm glad for the body cam footage, and let's give it up to the great people of New York for standing on business and getting these people charged. I hope that when they get into these prisons, somebody do them the same way they did this young man. Because shame on you for thinking you had the right to adjust your sentence, your so-called sentence on somebody else. That's not your job, sir. I wish they would have stood on business and did what they were supposed to do, but since you didn't, now you can stand on business and go to jail.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
The only thing I'm going to say is I hope that we don't get that immunity clause passed on these cops, because as I was saying before, why even have a trial? We saw what you did. And I know everybody's due process or whatsoever. But as we seeing this, the whole world is seeing this. What y'all is doing to this young man, regardless of what he's in prison or jail for, he was a transfer. And y'all was doing this to him. And not one in there say, no, we shouldn't do this. They allowed their colleagues to do what they want to do. And it's like you said, it's not the first time they've done it and got away with it. I don't even think it should even be a trial when we see something like this. And it darn sure shouldn't be no immunity, because we have seen people got immunity that did way worse than our capital. And they had a lot of convictions on these people. These people had way more convictions than what they did at this Capitol. This one lady said she was scared because the man said he was going to unalive her, and she didn't think he was going to get out of jail. But then she said she got tricked. So we have to be very, very secure. We have to know what we're doing. We got to know what we stand for. And we got to stop these cops from doing anything to us that they deem that they should do to us when they should not. So I just hope the family get justice. Money is not going to bring the kin folks back, but it would hurt the pockets of these people. And I think these people should be sued along with the city. Not just the city. They should be paying out money as well. But we'll see how it goes. And condolences to his family. That's all I got.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
I just want them released in general population and for the other inmates to know exactly who they are and what they did. At this point, I can see why our younger generation is so angry, untrustworthy of law enforcement, and why our culture is so divided. These are a group of cowards. And I'm so sick of these stories. And here we are in February, and thank God that they got charged and for the body cam footage, because we wouldn't have known, and they would have made up all types of stories, just like they falsified a report to CYA. But it's, at this point, I remember when 47 was on the campaign trail and he talked about a purge. And I jokingly always say, we need to start training for this purge that he's talking about, because everything else that he's mentioned has come, to fruition, and they are really working in what they're doing, and what he said. And I tell people it's really not a joke. We need to start training for some type of purge, and no matter what they can do to eliminate and take us out, they're going to do it. And what group of cowards? I just really want them released in Gen Pop, and that they get no. And I'm afraid, like Katrina said, I agree with her. I'm afraid that they will find some type of loophole, if not all 10, but a few that will be released, and under some type of technicality through this administration. And because this happened in New York, correct? Mm-hmm. And the whole, and New York has so many problems as it is now, from the mayors to the law enforcement officials, and oh my goodness, this governor is going to need a mental health break real soon, really, really soon. So I really hope that but there's always Letitia James, and Letitia ain't playing with anybody. So I want them released in general pop. That's basically, send them to Rikers and let all 10 of them be released, and they'll be taken care of.
Yeah, it's it's sad. Welcome. I gotta look, Carbar. I might have gotten it. I gotta look. I'll look. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and roll into the next story. I'm glad this family is getting some type of justice so far, that these 10 individuals that they were charged, because it's just dreadful. Imagine if they didn't have that body cam, because they did falsify paperwork, mess with evidence, because they cleaned up the scene. So they would have just lied about what happened to him, and the family would have got probably no justice. But I'm glad they're seeing justice now. So thank God for those body cams. So I'm going to go ahead and move into the next story. And the next story, we'll talk about this Xzibit and the ex-wife. Listen, she wants more money. It's crazy. So Xzibit's estranged wife, she said, I need $30K monthly support. We can't afford designer clothes anymore, okay? So Xzibit's estranged wife is back in court, claiming she's still experiencing extreme financial hardship since they split in 2021. And now she's asking the judge to force the rapper to fork over more money to get back to the luxury life she once had. TMZ Hip Hop obtained court docs obtained by Xzibit's ex, Christina Joyner, on Thursday, hoping to modify her existing spousal support from the West Coast rapper after she says her lifestyle has been downgraded. According to Christina, she and the 12-year-old son she shares with Xzibit had to move out of the 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom home they were renting for $10K a month. Listen, she better get a life together because she got what? 6 years till be 18. She better get it together. And she doesn't have the means to buy herself or son designer clothes. Christina says she's unable to pay her bills, car insurance, or take weekend trips, and claims Xzibit would rather spend his money on his girlfriend, luxury car, instead of paying for his son's private school tuition. She also claims Xzibit hasn't made attempts to see their son since September 2024. In addition, there are less incidents of DV. Christina claims Xzibit and his girlfriend, Valerie Eagleson, fought her in front of their son at a studio in August 2022 that left her with skin abrasions. She also claims X slammed their son's head on a table for having memes of ex-girlfriend on his phone. She asked in the court to increase her existing child support to $9,313 per month and spousal support to $21,380 per month. Plus, she wants a finding that Xzibit owes her more than $750,000 in arrears. She's also looking for Xzibit to cough up $300K in attorney fees. Christina's previous child order was based on the rap star making around $25K per month, but she's now convinced he earns a minimum of $134K a month based on bank statements. We reached out to Xzibit, no word back yet, but he's dealt with similar proceedings in the past with his estranged wife. Oh, good God. Tay, your thoughts?
Here we go again with Kel Coulter, like his ex-wife who wants some more money. My question is, she probably stay at home all day while he working every day. Now that's just plain greed right there. Why you didn't save the money? You know, to buy you apartment, like 2-bed apartment room for you and your son, and the bathroom and the kitchen. Ain't that hard to find a house? All I say, ladies and gentlemen, be careful who you married to, and make sure you got a prenup too. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So I hate saying this. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like women have taken child support and spousal support, meaning the absence party is supposed to pay all of the needs. Okay, it's supposed to be, spousal support is supposed to be to keep you in the lifestyle you're accustomed to. And your child support is supposed to be half of the kid's needs. The other parent is supposed to provide the other half. It seems like this young lady wants him to provide all of her needs and her son's needs. And I'm going to need her to find a computer and go on there and find a job, okay? And instead of renting these expensive houses that you cannot afford, ma'am, I'm going to need you to buckle down and put you some money aside so you can buy you a house, okay? Put some equity into something legitimate so you can have something to pass on to your child. And then while you at it, I'm gonna need you to circle around the block, okay? And get yourself a life, okay? Because how dare you, ma'am, trying to count that man's pockets and you all up in his bank account trying to guess how much he getting. I'm gonna need you to do what you're supposed to do. Stand on business as a real mama and take care of your business. Now, your child ain't supposed to be your bank account to get you the successful life that you want to live. Everybody wants designer clothes and go on vacations and stuff, but not every weekend. She is ridiculous. You know, We can't go on vacations every weekend. Okay, you can't go on vacations every weekend. You take your child and get a movie and y'all watch it. It's other stuff you can do with your kids other than taking them away for the weekend. I'm gonna need you to get a life, ma'am. Get you a job and do something resourceful. Yeah.
Yeah. Katrina, your thoughts? I don't know. Katrina, are you there? All right. Savannah, your thoughts?
Hello, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Savannah. In my opinion, I'm on the same seat you in, girl. I can see you giving the money for your child.
Mm-hmm.
I get that because a woman do a lot. If she's the full time parent, like I said, she got to take the child to school, homework, tutors, dancing, and all that type of stuff. But the child support is made for the child. That's their support. So what these fathers need to do is put it in like a trust. Give the kids what they need for that money, and it's a limit that you can go to. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, girl, you want to go to vacation every weekend. Who does that? I mean, maybe because y'all millionaires and whatsoever. But if you see that you can't do that, you find another way around it. You find someone, take her to Chuck E. Cheese, take her to the skating rink, take her to these places. I mean, if you can't afford it, then don't try to do it. And if this man passed away or whatsoever, what you left with then if he's not making the money to bring in to pay you? So you need to be out there getting another job, going to school, getting an education, or doing something. I'm not saying no father shouldn't take care of his children. That's never what I would say. Because a woman goes through a lot just birthing a child. And being a mother, I'm not saying being a mom, being a mother, because a mom is what that woman was doing, partying while her kids was at home suffering. That's a mom. That's not a mother. And with her, you say you want designer clothes and all that type of stuff. If you can't afford no designer clothes, start making your clothes. I mean, I'm just saying, if you can't afford it, why fake it? Why give all this money to a designer when it's never going to give no value to you? That's not going to make that child who they need to be. That's not going to learn that child knows. That's not going to teach no child their lesson. If she got on designer clothes, what is that value in the child? That's materialistic stuff. Those things are not going to help her learn. Those things are not going to be her friends. Those things, you putting that money into somebody else's pocket. You're not even putting it in your own pocket because you're not valuing what you got. These people are crazy. And yes, they live in this Hollywood life, this Disneyland world. But trust me, reality is going to smack you in your face like a boomerang. If you can't afford it, go to Kmart. That's all I got, Eva.
Thank you. Savannah, your thoughts?
Well, first I want to know where is a Kmart open at? Because I thought they were all closed. So Katrina, you caught me on that one. This woman is so less than smart. The first thing I caught off this story was she's paying all this money for rental apartments and places instead of owning a home and actually creating roots for her child. That's the first thing that I caught. Minus all that work that she's done on her face or Botox and I know that some of it was filtered. So this woman is using her son as a pawn and leverage to get what she wants out of the father. And I don't recall when the last time Xzibit even had a hit was on TV. I don't know if he's on Love and Hip Hop. I don't know what he's doing, but Xzibit don't have that much money where he can continuously increase her child support. This is what's wrong with first of all, men need to start being a little bit more selective on who they bed and pull out or strap up, because you're going to deal with women like this who have no value, no integrity, have, and it's all about them. And there are so many women as these ball players, rappers, and just men of means are finding out that their agenda is to get pregnant by them because that secures them a paycheck for the next at least 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
I hope Xzibit, and I believe this is the child is a young man. I hope he's present in his life, and this is a time that he can be more of a teacher and influence and show him how to be a real young man, and maybe that he can take more of an active role. I don't know. This is just so messy because I believe the girl is also being the mother of the child is also being a nuisance or intrusive in his new relationship. This is just too much. This is a low vibrational, as they say, woman who has nothing going for her, is not smart, and the child is the one who's going to suffer in the end, and that's why the father needs to be more present in his life and making sure the mother doesn't damage him all the way. Because I'm pretty sure she's also talking bad about the father in front of the son. It's just sad.
It's very sad. Julius, I don't know if you heard this story. If you did, do you have any thoughts?
I'll wait till the next one, Diva.
Okay, no problem. And happy birthday again, even though it was yesterday. All right.
Thank you for all the birthday love, everybody.
You're welcome. Raheem, don't do that. He said, give her a copy of Worthy by Jada. Oh my God. Listen, I wanted to say, people's like, oh, put the money in a trust. If the mother could afford for the money to be in a trust, she probably wouldn't need the child support from the dad. So I think in real time, I'm not going to fault a mother if you get child support and you're using it for your child, because that's what it's supposed to be used for. Is she getting this child support, though? I don't understand why she's saying the private school is not being paid for. Why isn't she using the child support money to pay for said private school?
Exactly, Diva. Exactly.
So, and then designer clothes, I mean, that's wild for you to even come out and say that. As long as your kid is able to have some clothes, that should be the point. Designer clothes, she's trying to live like
Not to cut you off, but I thought in private school they wear uniforms.
Yeah, they do, but she admitted, for not just for the kid, but for herself too. She wants to live the life that she still had with Xzibit, but you can't do that. He can't give you his whole check like that. Like, we got to be reasonable here. All of his money can't come to you, and if he got a new girlfriend, he got a right to do whatever he wants to do with said girlfriend. But if he owes her $750 in arrears, then I'm $750K in arrears, she should get that. She's entitled to it. But I'm gonna stay connected, and we'll see how this story actually pans out. I'm gonna roll.
I do agree with that. If he's that much in arrears, yes, that's due to her. I get that part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's due to her. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll into the last story, and this is Angela Bassett. It's a new story with her talking about how she still felt slighted with this Oscar situation. Oh, I clicked off of it myself. Hold on one second. All right. So Angela Bassett blasted for sour grapes revelation. She's still disappointed over losing the Oscar to Jamie Lee Curtis. Let me just click out of something in my background. All right. Angela Bassett has been slammed by fans for once again revealing her disappointment over losing the 2023 is 2025, y'all. Best Supporting Actress Award to Jamie Lee Curtis. The screen icon 66 was nominated for her role as Queen Ramonda in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, while Curtis won for her performance in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Bassett, who was seen looking memorably crestfallen at the ceremony, says she thought the award was given due to the good work she put in during her career, which she's seen her take home accolades, including a Primetime Emmy Award and 2 Golden Globe Awards. Now, she know that's not what that Oscar was for. She needs to stop. She told Town and Country, I found it interesting that I wouldn't be allowed to be disappointed at an outcome where I thought I was deserving. I love applauding people, but But in that moment, Bassett said, before adding she thought she had put in the work to be recognized before correcting herself. No, I have put in the time, put in the good work over time. I didn't think that was a gift. I thought it was a given. Fans quickly accused the star of having sour grapes and lambasted her attitude over the loss. That was her in 2023 when she didn't win. One fan wrote, I'm sorry, but she's old enough to know how the game is played. It has never been about who's best or more deserving. Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan, but she had 0 chances on a Marvel film that year against the other nominees. And this continuous attitude just keeps her out still. Another type, so much sour grapes. The award for best overall acting, maybe. But the best for overreacting, maybe. Another role, hard disagree. Yelling isn't hard. She overplays every role. She is cringeworthy at best. I avoid movies that feature her in them. Love Angela, but the Oscar giving an Oscar to a Marvel movie, that wasn't happening. Her getting an acting nomination out of that movie was an achievement on its own. Nah, Angie, you really need to listen to yourself, girl. You're going to the bad place. This oozes arrogance. In 2024, she was awarded an honorary Oscar. Her longtime friend and fellow acclaimed actress, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, echoed Bassett's sentiments that she deserved to win, adding that while the star was really respected among her peers, maybe the establishment has not done right by her. Forrest Whitaker added that he believed Bassett deserved the Academy Award for What's Love Got to Do with It. Hello. Playing Tina Turner in 1993. Last year, Bassett admitted to Oprah she was gobsmacked over the loss, but she thought she handled it very well, despite the fact that her crestfallen reaction went viral after the ceremony. Although Bassett's nod was one of 5 nominations that year, the action adventure won only for Best Achievement in Costume Design. Bassett, who was hoping to win Marvel Studios' first ever acting Oscar after taking home the Golden Globe, was somber as Curtis took to the stage. However, many watching realized that fellow nominees Hung, Kerry, and Stephanie applauded, asking why Bassett couldn't grin and bear it. Fans quickly took to social media to address her reaction, with one writing, Bassett is a fantastic actress. A shame she didn't continue performing tonight, and applaud when Jamie Lee won. I didn't get the whole Angela Bassett face, Winfrey said. I thought, wow, you can see that you expected another thing, but you were still as gracious as a queen would be. Absolutely, for myself and for my children who were there with me. Yes, Bassett replied. I know a pastor who says technology is different. People are the same. There are going to be these moments of disappointment that they are going to experience. But how do you handle yourself in the midst of them? We're going to smile. We're going to be gracious. We're going to be kind. We're going to party anyway. In a recent interview on Live with Kelly and Mark, the Golden Globe winner said her husband and 18-year-old twins were surprised at the outcome, but the loss turned into a life lesson. They were supremely disappointed, as young people can be, she said, but it was a teachable moment just to know, to carry yourself, hold yourself, go to parties with grace, and know that just keep one foot in front of the other. Keep going, keep following your dreams, because 24 hours, what a difference a day makes. Well, she didn't listen to her own advice, which is crazy. I still love her, but she didn't listen to her own advice. Tay, your thoughts?
I love me some Angela Bassett from What's Love Gotta Do It, Ways as Hell. Stella got her groove back. In any movie that I can think of. Yes. It sucks you not win the Oscar, but you get everything your best you can do in the movie. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And then, and you see somebody who win the Oscar, If I was her, I would clap for that person who deserved that Oscar right there. You know, I'm not gonna be sad or angry or disappointing, all that stuff right there. I'm just gonna keep my head up. I'll cry. I'll cry when I go home. In public. At home in private. Right there. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. Julius, your thoughts?
I would have been happy just with my honorary Oscar. And we need to diminish one thing. That was Jamie Lee Curtis's first ever Oscar. And from what I heard about her, she came from a Los Angeles heavyweight in the business. And some people thought, oh, she got it. And she's been in the movie business 50 years. And just now in 2023, won an Oscar. It goes to show how selective and picky the Oscars is. Getting my honorary Oscar, I'd be like, oh, I'm an EGOT now. Yay. And guess what? I would have went on minding my business. Miss Angela, now you know I love you. You know I do. And you know I'm a fangirl, especially when you said, not today, Ike, and you turned it around and was ready to give it to Mr. Fishburne and that limo girl. But it's time to let it go. Cause that still deep-seated anger, it ain't helping nobody. It's time to let it go.
Let it go. Thank you. In my opinion,
Oh, I hate to do this. I'm a two minds on this one right here, okay? While I agree with y'all, she didn't deserve it for Wakanda. Let's be clear, Jamie didn't deserve it neither. We gonna be brutally honest. Let's be clear, she didn't deserve it neither. But I think she was the right complexion for the. Here's the thing. I feel like Angela has been snubbed so many times. That's the reason why she's bitter. It's not so much of this Marvel movie because let's be clear, she did a phenomenal job in Tina Turner, but she did a phenomenal job in Rosa Parks. She did a phenomenal job in Akilah and the Bee. Her work has overexceeded her career, and she has not gotten the accolade from the Oscars that she deserved. I think Angela Bassett is one of the best actresses that we have. And she's always been gracious at award ceremonies. Now, this one has caught her by a little surprise or whatever. I feel like she's been snubbed so many times that she's over it. And I think y'all caught her slipping. Her face kind of fell because, she just had to put herself up on that pedestal that this was the year. I ain't even mad at her neither. I do wish she'd leave it alone. It's over now. I wish she would leave it alone. But I'm not mad at her for being disappointed because I have been disappointed a many times watching the Oscars. It ain't our show. They don't like our movies. They don't give us the honor that we deserve because even when we do phenomenal jobs, we rarely get the accolades for it. So, like I said, I'm of two minds. I do think she needs to let this go. But at the same time, I do think Angela Bassett deserved it a long time ago. And that's just my opinion.
thank you, Julius. Did I skip anybody? Katrina, did you go?
No, Diva, I didn't go.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's been snubbed a lot. She's been in a lot of movies from um Boys in the Hood. Um she's been in a lot of movies. She go way back. But you got to realize so do Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis go way back from the Halloween series. This woman been there. And like Julian was saying, she's been snubbed as well. But when she did play this movie that she was in, the woman did her thing. I'm not saying Angela Bassett didn't do her thing either because she's a phenomenal actress. But see, I think Angela Bassett thought that she was going to win because of how many awards that Wakanda Forever got. And see, she was basing it on that, but just like with on the first one with Chadwick Boseman and what's the other guy named the built one that played oh gosh, what's his name? Reed. I forgot his Creed. The guy that played Creed. Whoever I forgot his name.
Yeah, I know he's talking about
Michael Jordan. That's who it is.
Michael B. Jordan.
So because they got wars back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. And I think because of the status of that movie and the wars, and it was uh sold out at the movie theater. I really she think that she was gonna win on that. Not saying that she wasn't good in the movie.
Mm.
I'm not saying that. But like you said, she was only in the movie pretty close to like 15, 20 minutes. And she's still a phenomenal actress. Yes, she should have got awards way before now. So did Jamie Lee Curtis. But and then what was the lady named Susan Lucy used to play on All My Children? She didn't get one until what 16 years, 17 years whatsoever. She found they said the curse was finally over. It was broken when she finally got an award.
Mm.
So the thing of it is the Oscars doesn't go by, the body of work that you've done. They go by that film that you in at that moment.
Come
And
on.
the film that Jamie Lee Curtis was in at that moment, she did her thing in it. Because I watched the movie. I got to give it to the woman. She did her thing in it. And I'm not saying but Angela didn't do her thing in her part of the movie, the part that she did play on. But see, this thing right here, this woman played the movie all the way to the end. Angela Bassett did not. So it's different measures and different people that's looking at these movies and seeing some different things. Everything is not going to be the same. And we can give it up to these women. We can give it up to them because what's the other name? That other woman that was winning all the awards before people started. The white actress. I forgot her name, but she used to win every award. Dang, I forgot her name. But anyway, she used to win all the awards. What was that dumb woman name? But anyway, it goes about the body of work that film that person did in that film. That's how it goes. Because I would say that that guy should have Denzel Washington should have got an award for John Q. Because I don't know how many times I cried in that movie. There's no way that man should not got an award for that movie. I mean, and plus he did phenomenal movies as well. But they waited till he did something bad when he's a bad cop and all that and training they did, and he get an award for this. The same thing with Holly Berry. She didn't get an award until she was with in Monster Ball and Be For Real. But Angela, you're a good actress. You making the money. You can go make you a statue child and say you the best actor. Do that. Don't be salty. Let it go. It's another chance you might come up the next season, the next movie you get. Hopefully you'll get an award for that. Just let it go because you can't be salty with Jamie Lee Curtis. It wasn't her. It was the Oscars that did it. And like I said, Jamie Lee been back in these movies a long time as well. So let it
She
go, woman. Let it go.
and I did see that movie also, and she did a good job. And it's unfortunately Angela knows this. It's not about your body of work overall. It's about the
The
movie
movie that you in at that moment, yes.
at that moment. And if we got to tell the truth and shame the devil, she wasn't in Wakanda but for 2.2 seconds. She died early on, and that was a shocker to me. I said, "Holy shoot!" when I watched it. So I'm just like, I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting her to die. So either way, though, just my opinion. At some point, you got to let it go and move on. And I don't care what anybody asks me about my face, at the time in the moment. I would have been like, I was disappointed, but I would be I'm able to congratulate others. Like that's one of my superpowers, and I'm glad I'm able to congratulate others. I know there's no jealousy. Like, I'm not going to be hating because somebody maybe started when I started and they're here and I'm there. Like, no, I'm not going to be hating on other people like that. That's just me. If they chose her, then she won. You don't think those other people were disappointed too? They were, but they still congratulated her. So I think Angela if she really want to teach the kids for real. Because you Black, you prepare yourself, because you may be the best, you may be the most qualified, and you may not get the job, and they may not congratulate you when you're doing a good job. So prepare them for the truth. It happens. But what you got to also tell them is no matter who give you award or don't give you award, if you believe in the higher power, that's where all your true rewards are going to come from. To God be the glory and amen. So listen, guys, thanks for being here. We had our show, Messy, Xzibit X. She wants more money. I think, you know what, no matter how much that girl gets in money, she's the type of individual that, to me, if you ask me, she's going to piss away the money. Because she's saying it clearly. She want to buy designer clothes and go on weekends and all this other stuff. That's not your life no more, chick. And you got literally, if your son is 12, you got 6 years to get it together. And then and when that's cut off, she's not going to have nothing. Because you was pissing away the money on a $10,000 a month rental as is. Okay. Then we got the officers charged in the Robert Brooks death. God bless the family for their mission and everything that they're doing and that they're staying on this case. And Angela Bassett, we love you, girl. You're an amazing actress, but you got to let this one go. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Do not cheat.